So, unfortunately, I know I did another video the other day where I was preparing for a customer to come in, and it was a Toyota Sienna, and I was really hyped about it. I mean, to be fair, I'm really hyped about basically every customer I'm getting ready for. It's probably the most enjoyable part of my day is getting to talk to people. But unfortunately, that one didn't work out. That deal fell through. She was just really particular on which trim she wanted. Bless her heart. Tiny little old lady, and she said, I'm looking for a Toyota Sienna. I've tried every single trim, and I just need to see if yours is the best fit. And deep down, she honestly did want it to be the best fit. She was just like, she got it in, and you could just see in her face, right? She's super excited. She's ready to go. She sits in it. She's making the adjustments to the chair. We go down the road. We start taking off across the train tracks, and we kind of go on our big route. My route has like potholes. It has speed humps, has turns. It's got everything you need. I even have a cul-de-sac where people can slam the gas, slam the brakes, try to do donuts, really test out acceleration, braking, emergency braking, and turning radius. It's like I try to make sure I'm taking everything into account when I'm doing one of my test drives. Um, so we're getting down to that cul-de-sac, and she's testing out. She's like, yeah, the car is pretty good. The car feels good. Then she's like, she starts making those comments where it's like, oh, something's not quite right. It's like, it kind of feels stiffer than like I'm used to or I thought it was going to. Oh, it kind of feels like the seat's a little higher, and it's just like little comments like that where you pick up on them and you go like, oh yeah, that's strange. What particularly about, like, why is it standing off to you? First, you want to make sure it's like, is it just she has a setting wrong, or is it something bad? And yeah, we did a test drive, and bless her heart, we went on like a 20-minute test drive, and we're just getting ready to pull back into the lot, and then she says, yeah, I don't quite know, something still feels off. I was like, well, if you like, we can go around again. We can take a different route, really just see. And she's like, yeah, maybe it's my hip. My hip has been bothering me. I had an injury a while ago, and it might just be that. And I said, perfect. Okay, let's take a different route. So bless her heart that she wanted to do that. And she was really, you could tell there, she was really wanting it to work. But no, it didn't work. At the end, she's like, it just, something feels weird. And I said, okay, you know what? There was one other trim she hadn't tried. And I was like, I'm going to be honest with you then. I don't feel comfortable going forward, getting you numbers, doing all this process and stuff, trying to sell you this car. It's like, I think what you need to do is you need to go down and there's a Toyota dealership just down the road. Most other salespeople wouldn't let you leave or do this, but I suggest go down to that other dealership and ask them to at the very least sit in their car and see if it's a better fit, right? And that's like, you might as well just slit your own wrist there if you're a car salesperson. Sending someone to another dealership to sit in a car is like the worst thing you can do, right? Letting them go is one of the worst things you can do if they're ready, willing, and able to buy. So the only thing I did was like, hey, go ahead, take our car and go down there, and that way you can park them side by side. You can compare them. You can sit in one, sit in the next, and see if it was ours or if it's just your hip. So that's very nice. It was very generous of us to do. And she's like, oh, that's very considerate, and that's a perfect idea. So she did that. Now it's like, I would have offered something like that. But a little trick to that is like, yeah, it will then create a reason for her to have to come back, so she can at least talk to me and we can kind of figure it out. Because if that's not a good fit, well then, hey, it's like, you said you've tried all the trims, so would you like to still see numbers? Would you like to see other cars, right? Because I mean, unless it was like that was the perfect choice, then you're kind of screwed regardless. So she goes down, waited for about like 45 minutes, and then she came back. And I came out and I was like, so how'd it go? And it was like bittersweet, right? Because she said that dealership was horrible. She's like, I walked up, there was two other groups that walked into the building with me. One was like a family and one was a couple. And she's like, I don't want to say it was like sexist or anything, but the salesmen that like rushed to us, they went straight to the other groups, and they went straight to the men in those other groups. And she's like, she's a little 5'2" lady, and she's like, so I thought maybe, I kind of felt like it was that. No one came and helped me for a little bit longer. I had to feel like I waved someone down. And then I was like, I just need to sit in your car. I've test driven all these and stuff. I just need to sit and see if it's a good feel. And because of that, she said, like, the guy was kind of like, so you're not trying to buy it? And she's like, I mean, if it's a good fit, but like I just need to see. And she felt like he was just like, hey, if you're not here to buy, don't waste my time. So she's like, I did not like that. I didn't get a good feeling. And then, yeah, that initial feeling of possible sexism and stuff, which, you know, there's a negative stigma with car salesmen, but at the same time, there is kind of that stigma too, where it exists for a reason. There are very old, timey, traditional salespeople who act that way still. Trying to stand in the shade. This is our delivery center. It's not like super hot here in Pacific Northwest, but it's extremely sunny, and it's going to get very hot very fast. So that's the biggest problem. So yeah, I go, okay, I am so sorry you had that experience. I'm so sorry you had to deal with that and all that. I was like, but did you get a chance to see it in the car? Did they have a car for you? And that's where it was that bitter moment from the bittersweet, right? Because you're on a high. It's like, oh yeah, she hated the dealership. She didn't do business with them. She's coming back to us. And she goes, I did. And it was night and day. I sat in it and I just got that gut feeling that this is the right one. And I looked at her and my heart sank. I was like, oh, well, I'm like, if that's the feeling you got, that's the feeling you got. You can't fight that. And, you know, at the very end of the day, at least, hey, I know we helped narrow it down and find you the right car. And she was just like, I know, I'm so sorry. I wish you had it. I wish we could do business. I'm so sorry you don't get a sale. And I'm like, don't you ever apologize for, you know, not working with a salesman. I was like, don't do this. Don't take pity on me as a car salesman. It's like, no, that's not your job. I'll be fine. I'm here to help people find cars. We didn't have what you had. It's not my fault it didn't work out. I was like, so trust me, I'm happy that you found the right car. I was like, if you ever need anything, or if you need a friend in the business, or if they try to screw you over, you just let me know, and I'll kind of give you my insights, my little, you know, knowledge on who's who and what's what and stuff. But sometimes it doesn't work out, guys. You know, that's just the way it is. Even when you do everything right, and if you get the appointment, the people come down, which already takes a huge commitment. It's like, that's one of the hardest things to do, is get people physically in your building, because everyone wants to do it online, and they don't like confrontation, they don't like pressure and stuff. To get them in the building, even after all of that, you can go on test drives, they can love you, and then something can happen at the number stage, right? They say, oh, I can't afford this, or oh, the payments that I thought I could fit now all of a sudden can't fit, or something comes up, they can't get approved for credit. Or yeah, they love the car, they've done their research, they've known friends and family that like them, and then they sit in it and they go, oh, something doesn't feel right, like this situation, right? So sometimes that just happens. You're never going to be perfect. At the best, it's going to be like 70, 80% closing rate after you've done all that qualifying and pre-qualifying and kind of weeded out the good leads and the bad leads. It's still not going to be 100%. And the way you deal with that is just roll with it, right? You just say, hey, I'm better than this. I know I can do it. I know it wasn't my fault, or was there anything I did that wasn't my fault? And then I'll just correct it and for next time. And then just give them the best damn experience you possibly can, right? You just go, I'm going to give you the gold service, the gold standard service, roll out the red carpet for every single person. Because even if you don't make that sale, you're still going to have that person remember that experience, remember that time, and then next time someone says, hey, like, oh yeah, I've been looking for a new car. I started checking out these Outbacks or the Subarus, and they happen to be talking to her, then it's gonna be like, I know someone, right? And that's honestly how you make it in the car business, where you're like, you go from chasing people down and hounding people and trying to call them and desperately pleading for people to come in. That's how you go to like people just walking in saying, hey, is Johnny here? My friend bought a car, my friend talked to you, and yeah, she said she didn't buy, but that you were fantastic. And that's how you do it, because then you get people that trust you and they know that you're a good person, and they start telling their friends and family about it, and then that word of mouth really helps. Plus, it helps that we give out a little bit of a referral bonus to loyal customers who do refer us here, right? So yeah, just kind of wanted to give an update, because I had sent that video the other day saying, hey, I was preparing for it. Again, it didn't work out. I got another appointment. What time is it? I got another appointment in about an hour. For another Outback and stuff, so good, hopefully here. I still ended up selling a car later that day. There was a gentleman who wanted an Ioniq 5. Maybe I'll post another story about that one, because he was an awesome dude. But yeah, we're still just kicking along. All right, thanks for joining, everyone. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out other videos on YouTube, on the YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and of course Facebook. I post everywhere. Yeah, just kind of giving daily vlogs, daily tips, little walkthroughs, how-tos, reviews on all of the cars that we have Subaru, and then sometimes some random ones we get. All right, catch you later.